talk this out. I don't want to die, but I don't want to side with you.
You know, Milos, this is pointless. I have fortune on my side.
True.
Milos, I hope you realize that I'm stronger, more beautiful, and more fortunate than you'll ever be. And no matter what, I will win. We too, you can be sure, realize the difficulty of struggling against your power and against fortune, if it's not impartial. Still, we trust that heaven will not allow us to be worsted by fortune. For in this quarrel, we are right, and you are wrong.
Hold up! What did I just hear?
Jill now, the philosopher gal. Jill, 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 Jill. Jill now, the philosopher gal. Philosophy is cool. What does that mean? Jill now, the philosopher gal. Hey, Melian Dialogue. I'm Jill now, the philosopher gal. And I heard something golden. Hey, Milos, did I hear you say that heaven will beat out fortune because in this quarrel you are right and Athens is wrong? Well, yeah. That sounds pretty golden. Let's go to my philosophy cave and analyze it. Jill now, the philosopher gal. Hey there. Welcome to the philosophy cave. Let's talk about what we just heard. So we were talking about the Melian debate, and the Melians just said, we too, you can be sure, realize the difficulty of struggling against your power and against fortune, if it is not impartial. Still, we trust that heaven will not allow us to be worsted by fortune, for in this quarrel, we are right and you are wrong. What's so cool about that? Let me tell you. So the big question here is, what gives Milos the confidence to go up to Athens like this? Milos truly believes that they have a fighting chance against Athens because heaven is on their side. They think that they can win against Athens because they're fighting for a just cause. So what? So what? The Melians are the archetypical underdogs, which is why this whole damn story is so golden. We all love a really good underdog story. There's something awesome about the little guy beating out the head honcho. In typical philosophy fashion, why? Why do we like the underdog so much? Is it because as humans in our lives, at one time or another, we all feel oppressed? Do we identify with said underdog in his quest for justice because we wish we could fight back too? I don't know either. Let's think about it. Real life example time. Let's talk about some typical underdog stories in our real lives that'll make this whole Melian Dialogue thing and this whole underdog thing come together in a way that we will all understand, hopefully. Example number 1, the typical story of the tortoise and the hare. So, a tortoise and a hare race. And the hare's really, really confident, saying that he's gonna win because he's so fast, because hares are typically really fast. I don't mean hare. I mean like bunny rabbit, hare. So the rabbit's going really fast, but he's also so fast that he takes all these breaks and gets distracted, while the tortoise, Mr. Tortoise, is just chugging along, taking his time, because slow and steady wins the race. Towards the end of the race, the rabbit's distracted doing whatever he's doing, being a complete fool, while the tortoise wins said race because he was going slow and steady. He's the underdog or the under tortoise in the story. And again, underdogs are awesome when they win. However, my duties as a philosopher make me take this one morbid step further. In a real situation, let's say a forest fire, who's really going to win the race? if the fire's going and there's a rabbit hopping out of the woods and a tortoise crawling, the fire's not going to be impartial. The fire's just going to keep going. So really, in a real life situation, like a forest fire or a natural disaster, who has the upper hand in this? In this case, the underdog, the under-tortoise, loses. It isn't happy, but it's philosophy. Thanks, Jill. You just made me face the mortality of adorable little animals. No problem. Let's take this one step further and make it relevant to our time here at Seattle University. So last spring, the Sustainable Student Action Group, along with other environmental clubs here at SU, asked, protested, and rallied for Seattle University to divest from fossil fuels. These groups are mainly student-run, and they were addressing really important people like the SU Board of Trustees, the SU alumni, and other super important people here, like Father Steve, about changing a part of the Seattle University budget. That's pretty hefty for a bunch of students. The students put on a really successful rally and gained a lot of attention, both positive and negative, about this issue. This is a classic example of an underdog standing up for what they truly believe in and trying to make a positive change. However, just how the tortoise couldn't really escape his inevitable demise, the divestment movement was sort of shut down by the school's executives, and although a lot of people still think about it and still fight for it, the action has been quieted. I am not an expert on divestment here at SU, and I am no way pinning Father Steve as a villain in this. But still, here's another classic example of the underdogs being defeated. So really, what is an underdog, and why do we care so much if in real life they're gonna be defeated? This is hard. Even in the Melian debate, no matter what the Melians said, and they had some really good points, I mean gosh, they even had heaven on their side. They were fighting against Athens. And let's be honest, Athens, the brave and scary and strong empire, they had already made up their mind. In the same way, in that same underdog pattern, we know what's going to happen to Milos, and it's a bummer. So maybe this defeat thing would be better if we really understood what it means to win. Does winning literally mean coming out on top of the fight? Or could winning maybe mean how hard you fought for a cause that you believed in? We will never know what the Melians thought about what it means to win, but we do know that they really, truly believed in their cause. They really, truly believed that Athens was wrong in this quarrel and that they were right, that they had heaven on their side in the face of Athens who had fortune. I don't know. It's all very complicated. I didn't say this was Bill Nye the Science Guy. This is Jill Now the Philosopher Gal. It gets a little bit hard. Sorry that I didn't answer your questions. I hope I raised more. That's my job. I'm the Philosopher Gal. So thank you. I hope you learned a little something about philosophy or about the Melian Dialogue. Or if anything, I hope it made you feel at least a little bit good and probably a little bit bad. Well, I don't hope I made you feel bad. That's just a side effect of philosophy. Have a wonderful day, and thanks. Jill Now the Philosopher Gal. Jill Now the Philosopher Gal. Philosophy is cool. What does that mean? Jill Now the Philosopher Gal.